Nevada is a landscape defined by risk, neon, and billionaires, a desert expanse where fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. While the world sees a playground of casinos and transient luck, a quiet echelon of women has engineered something permanent. They are not gamblers, they are the house. This is the countdown of the richest women in Nevada. Number 7. Diana Bennett, the gaming innovator. Let's begin the countdown with a woman whose very DNA is intertwined with the foundational history of the Las Vegas Strip. When the general public thinks of the evolution of Nevada's gaming industry, they think of the visionaries who transitioned the city from mob-run joints to massive corporate mega-resorts. William Bennett was one of those legendary titans, the mastermind behind properties like Circus Circus and the Excalibur, revolutionizing the city by introducing the highly profitable concept of family-friendly entertainment. But his daughter, Diana Bennett, had absolutely no intention of simply being a passive heiress to a hospitality fortune. She wanted total operational control and a deep understanding of the machinery behind the glamour. She learned the casino floor from the absolute ground up, dealing cards, managing the complex algorithms of slot machine operations, and eventually mastering the grueling, high-stakes world of executive management. Instead of resting comfortably on her father's legacy, she stepped out of his massive shadow to co-found Paragon Gaming. Her strategic pivot was nothing short of brilliant. Recognizing that the Las Vegas Strip was becoming fiercely saturated and dominated by publicly traded behemoths like MGM and Caesars, she looked outward to untapped and emerging markets. She secured major management contracts and development rights for indigenous gaming facilities across North America, proving that she could navigate complex regulatory environments better than almost anyone in the industry. Her undeniable masterpiece was the development of the Park Vancouver in British Columbia, Canada. This wasn't just a regional casino, it was a multi-hundred-million-dollar luxury complex that completely redefined urban gaming in the Pacific Northwest. Featuring dual luxury hotels, expansive rooftop parks, and Michelin-tier dining, it established Paragon Gaming as a powerhouse in the international market, generating immense, reliable cash flow far outside the glare of the Nevada sun. Back home in Las Vegas, Diana solidified her status not just as a formidable business mogul, but as a quiet, essential power broker. She currently sits on the board of the UNLV Foundation, funneling millions of dollars into higher education, and serves as a crucial benefactor for the Three Square Food Bank, addressing the hidden poverty that exists just miles from the glittering neon lights. Diana Bennett embodies what industry insiders call operator wealth. Her massive fortune wasn't built on a lucky roll of the dice. It was built on understanding the mathematical edge, the logistical nightmares, and the intricate psychology of running a 24/7 hospitality empire. She proved that true legacy isn't inherited. It is engineered through decades of grit and strategic expansion. Number 6. Elaine Wynn, the Queen of the Strip. If Las Vegas is a desert mirage made real, Elaine Wynn was the visionary architect who painted it. Until her passing in April 2025, she was the undisputed queen of Las Vegas, leaving behind a legacy and a fortune estimated at $2 billion. Alongside her former husband, Steve Wynn, she co-founded both Mirage Resorts and Wynn Resorts. But to call her a co-founder vastly understates her impact. She was the aesthetic and cultural compass of the modern Strip. Before Elaine, Las Vegas was synonymous with cheap buffets, windowless rooms, and loud, chaotic carpets. She was the driving force that shifted the city's entire business model toward ultra-luxury. She curated the environments, integrating fine art, high-end retail, and Michelin-starred dining directly into the casino experience. The Bellagio, the Mirage, and Wynn Las Vegas bear her undeniable fingerprint. But her wealth wasn't just aesthetic, it was structural. As a major shareholder in Wynn Resorts, her net worth was tied to the soaring valuation of the global gaming giant. Her true power, however, was revealed in the boardroom rather than the design studio. Following a bitter divorce and the subsequent scandal that forced Steve Wynn out of the company in 2018, Elaine found herself in a vicious proxy war to reclaim her voting rights and reshape the company's future. In a masterclass of corporate warfare, she launched a successful campaign to remove legacy directors, completely overhauling the board to prioritize transparency and modern governance. She proved she was not just a figurehead, but a ruthless, brilliant corporate tactician holding a massive 9% stake in the empire. Beyond the casino floor, Elaine's wealth allowed her to dominate the global art market. She was a prolific collector, famously purchasing Francis Bacon's masterpiece, Three Studies of Lucian Freud, at auction for a staggering $142.4 million, the highest price ever paid for a work of art at the time. Her philanthropic footprint is equally massive. She served as the co-chair of the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, famously donating $50 million to its expansion, and poured millions into national education reform through communities and schools. Though she has passed, her $2 billion empire and her aesthetic vision remain permanently etched into the skyline of Nevada. Without Elaine Wynn, Las Vegas would just be a street of neon. With her, it became a global capital of luxury and fine art. Number 5. Weili Dai, the Silicon Desert pioneer. As the neon lights of the Strip project the image of old-school entertainment, a new kind of wealth is quietly turning the Nevada desert into a high-tech fortress. Weili Dai, worth an estimated $2.9 billion, represents the massive migration of Silicon Valley capital into the tax-friendly, business-optimized landscape of Nevada. She is a trailblazer in one of the most brutal, capital-intensive, and historically male-dominated sectors on the planet: semiconductor manufacturing. Born in Shanghai, China, Dai immigrated to the United States and leveraged her brilliant technical mind to co-found Marvell Technology Group in 1995. She holds the historic distinction of being the only female co-founder of a major global semiconductor company. Semiconductors are the digital oil of the modern economy, powering everything from smartphones and cloud servers to autonomous vehicles and advanced artificial intelligence. Under her leadership, Marvell grew into a global juggernaut, shipping billions of chips worldwide and fundamentally shaping the architecture of the modern internet. After a highly successful multi-decade run at Marvell, Dai and her husband transitioned from corporate executives to massive global investors, relocating their base of operations to the Las Vegas area. Nevada is rapidly evolving into what economists call the Silicon Desert, offering zero state income tax and massive regulatory incentives for tech billionaires seeking an alternative to the high costs of California. But Dai isn't just parking her wealth in a bank account. She is aggressively deploying it. Operating out of Nevada, she has spearheaded investments into next-generation technologies, focusing heavily on green energy, smart city infrastructure, and cutting-edge software platforms. Furthermore, she has built a formidable real estate portfolio, purchasing ultra-luxury properties that serve as both private sanctuaries and strategic command centers for her global investments. Weili Dai's presence in Nevada completely shatters the stereotype that the state's economy is entirely dependent on hospitality and gaming. She proves that the ultimate economic leverage isn't merely owning the software that people use. It is creating the hardware that makes the software possible. Her multi-billion-dollar fortune is a testament to the fact that immigrant ingenuity, combined with relentless execution, can break the thickest glass ceilings in the technology sector. Number 4. Peggy Cherng, the fast food engineer. If Weili Dai engineered the microchips of the future, our next billionaire engineered something far more universally consumed, yet equally systematic. Peggy Cherng, boasting a net worth of approximately $3.6 billion, did not build a casino, nor did she build a tech conglomerate. She built an absolute empire of orange chicken as the co-founder and co-CEO of Panda Express. But to view her simply as a restaurateur is a massive miscalculation of her business genius. Peggy holds a PhD in electrical engineering and spent the early years of her career coding complex logistical simulators for the United States Navy and aerospace contractors. When she joined her husband, Andrew, to expand their single sit-down restaurant into a fast casual chain, she didn't just bring recipes. She brought aerospace-level systems engineering. In the 1980s, decades before data analytics became a corporate buzzword, Peggy custom-coded one of the hospitality industry's first electronic point-of-sale systems. This software allowed Panda Express to track inventory down to the ounce, optimize menu items based on real-time regional data, and scale operations with a terrifying mathematically perfect efficiency. Today, Panda Express operates thousands of locations globally, generating billions in annual revenue without ever taking the company public or relying on franchising. But why does a fast food mogul land on the list of Nevada's most powerful women? The answer lies in the Cherng family trust and their massive local footprint. The family has moved significant financial operations and personal residency to the Las Vegas area, operating a multi-billion-dollar family office that functions like a highly aggressive private equity firm. The Cherings have quietly become some of the largest commercial real estate landlords in the country. In Nevada specifically, they have purchased prime, high-profile plots on and off the Las Vegas Strip, and even acquired a substantial ownership stake in the ultra-luxurious Waldorf Astoria, Las Vegas. Peggy Cherng represents the systematic wealth model. She engineered a billion-dollar fortune one plate at a time using naval-grade data analytics, and is now quietly buying up the desert, proving that the most lucrative businesses are often the most fundamental ones executed with technological precision. Number 3. Eren Ozmen, the aerospace titan. From the glittering lights of Las Vegas, we travel north to the high deserts of Reno, where our next billionaire isn't just looking at the horizon, she is looking directly at the stars. Eren Ozmen, worth an estimated $4.4 billion, is the president and owner of Sierra Nevada Corporation. Her journey to the apex of the defense and aerospace industry is arguably the most spectacular, against-all-odds immigrant triumph in modern American business. Ozmen arrived in the United States from Turkey as a young student with virtually no money. She spoke limited English and survived by making and selling homemade baklava while putting herself through an MBA program at the University of Nevada, Reno. In the 1980s, she joined SNC, which at the time was a struggling, insignificant defense company with a mere 20 employees. Armed with an incredibly sharp financial mind, she reorganized the company's internal structures, making it profitable enough that she and her husband were able to acquire it entirely in 1994. Under her fierce leadership, SNC evolved from a small systems integrator into a multi-billion-dollar national security and aerospace juggernaut. It is now consistently ranked as one of the top privately owned defense contractors in the United States, specializing in everything from electronic warfare and military aviation to telemedicine and satellite deployment. But her most famous endeavor is the Dream Chaser, a cutting-edge, reusable spaceplane designed to resupply the International Space Station and eventually transport humans into low Earth orbit. While billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos loudly dominate the aerospace headlines, Eren Ozmen has been quietly securing massive, multi-billion-dollar government contracts from NASA and the Department of Defense. She is literally reshaping the entire economy of northern Nevada, transforming Reno into a major hub for high-tech manufacturing and aerospace engineering. Her wealth is fundamentally different from the rest of the list. It is not tied to consumer spending, retail trends, or tourism. Her fortune is inextricably tied to national security, classified defense programs, and the final, infinite frontier of orbital logistics. She is the undisputed titan of the Nevada aerospace sector, proving that in the desert, the sky is not the limit, it's the market. Number 2. Nancy Walton Laurie, the Retail Dynasty. We now enter the rarefied realm of deca-billionaires, where wealth is no longer just a number on a balance sheet. It is a gravitational force. Nancy Walton Laurie, boasting an astronomical net worth of $21.4 billion, is an heiress to the Walmart fortune, the largest retail conglomerate on the planet. While the Walton family name is intrinsically synonymous with Bentonville, Arkansas, Nancy maintains a massive, highly insulated and ultra-luxurious footprint in Henderson, Nevada, one of the wealthiest and most exclusive enclaves in the United States. To understand a $20 billion fortune is to understand the mechanics of perpetual motion. It is a level of wealth that generates hundreds of millions of dollars every single year in completely passive dividend income alone. While the casino moguls on the Strip must constantly hustle for quarterly earnings, redesign hotel rooms, and fight for market share, Nancy's wealth simply compounds in the background of global commerce. Every time a consumer buys a gallon of milk or a flat-screen television at a Walmart anywhere in the world, Nancy's net worth inches upward. Her lifestyle serves as the ultimate contrast to the loud, neon-soaked aesthetic of Las Vegas. She lives a life of profound quiet and ultimate insulation. She is the proud owner of the super yacht Chaos, a staggering $300 million floating palace that requires a massive crew, features multiple helicopter pads, and costs tens of millions of dollars annually just in standard maintenance and docking fees. Beyond retail, she has historically deployed her immense capital into sports team ownership, having formerly owned the St. Louis Blues NHL franchise, as well as banking, commercial real estate, and elite performing arts centers across the country. In a state where millions of people travel every year hoping to hit the jackpot, Nancy Walton. Laurie represents the ultimate untouchable bank. Her wealth is immovable, deeply systemic, and vastly larger than the gross domestic product of several small nations. She proves that in a state obsessed with new money and rapid fortunes, nothing beats the silent, overwhelming power of a generational retail dynasty. She is the personification of endless capital, a woman whose financial influence is felt in every corner of the global economy while she remains safely ensconced in her Nevada sanctuary. Number 1. Miriam Adelson, the uncontested empress. Finally, we arrive at the absolute apex of Nevada's financial hierarchy. Miriam Adelson, with a net worth currently verified at $38.2 billion, is not just the richest woman in Nevada. She is one of the wealthiest and most influential individuals on the planet. While she is the widow of the legendary casino magnate Sheldon Adelson, make no mistake, she is not a passive beneficiary of a deceased man's estate. She is the reigning empress of the Las Vegas Sands empire, guiding the company through its most transformative and aggressive era in history. Born in Israel, Miriam's early career had absolutely nothing to do with casinos or high finance. She served as a medical researcher in the Israel Defense Forces and later became a highly respected physician specializing in addiction medicine, discovering breakthrough treatments using methadone. She met Sheldon on a blind date, and together they built a hospitality colossus that redefined the concept of the integrated resort. Following his death in 2021, Miriam didn't step into the shadows. She took the absolute reins, controlling more than half of the New York Stock Exchange-listed gambling empire. Under her purview, Las Vegas Sands executed a massive, historic pivot that shocked the industry. The company sold off all of its Las Vegas properties, including the iconic Venetian and the Sands Expo, for an astonishing $6.25 billion. Why? To focus entirely on Macau and Singapore, the true, undisputed epicenters of global gaming revenue. This maneuver made her wealth highly international and insulated from the domestic fluctuations of the American economy. Furthermore, Miriam is a political kingmaker of the highest order. She remains one of the most prominent megadonors in American politics, capable of single-handedly funding super PACs and shaping the political landscape with nine-figure donations that can sway national elections. In late 2023, she made another massive diversification play, selling $2 billion in Sands stock to purchase the Dallas Mavericks NBA franchise, instantly making her a titan in the professional sports world. Add to this her ownership of the Las Vegas Review-Journal, the state's largest newspaper, and her influence becomes total. Miriam Adelson controls the economy, the media, and the political pulse of the state. She is the ultimate master of the desert, commanding a fortune so vast it literally reshapes the world around it. She is the house, the dealer, and the owner of the game itself. Their empires span technology, hospitality, retail, and space exploration, leaving legacies that will endure long after the desert sands shift. Which of these extraordinary wealth-building journeys fascinated you the most? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe to Her Status for more global wealth investigations.